is grief. Okay? And when we're in grief, we experience a time when we can't think. We think we're going to read, and we end up dusting, even if we never dust. And we think we're going to sit in front of the TV and we're going to divert our attention. But we sit in front of the TV in a stupor. We think we're over it and we go to a wedding and we start bawling for no reason. We're on a little road trip to make ourselves feel better. And we're flooded by grief in a roadside bathroom. It knocks our socks off. We are not who we were. We're not who we used to be. All the anchors are gone. We are existing in that unthinkable state of being. What else would you not let go when pain comes near, as a hand would drop a burning ember? What other pain would you hold closely, a grief not to be given up? What other pain would you be so unwilling to sacrifice? Think not that these are senseless questions made to bring love and pain together and there to leave you unaided and unhelped. For pain and love kept together in this way makes no sense, and yet makes the greatest sense of all. Well, I love the reference to grief here. To me, that grief is more expressive of those unthinkable states, but also kind of the journey, the spiritual journey that we go on, than anything else in regular life that I can think of. You're in that pain, but it's all bound up with love. It's so bound up with love. And you're so aware of what's essential in life during times of grief, that it's all kind of held together in this pot. I got this book, Broken Open by Elizabeth Lesser, because I heard her on the radio say that she loved grief. It was one of those things you don't ever hear anybody say. Yeah. So I had to buy the book for that one line. And I'd like to just read you a little bit from it. It's a chapter called Good Grief. Death stirs up conflicted feelings in the hearts of those left behind. Some of us feel shaky and tender. Others are shocked and angry. Almost everyone is confused and unsettled. All these feelings are included in what we call grief. I felt them all in the spiritual experiences too. Grief is messy and painful. No wonder we want to steer clear of it. But grief is also a tonic. It is a healing elixir made of tears that lubricate the heart. Our tears and the calm hands of grief that follow are not some signs of tragic and evil reality. Grief is the proof of our love, a demonstration of how deeply we have allowed another to touch us. This is a grief journal that was given to me when my dad was dying. And so there's actually only 2 journal entries in here that I made before my dad died. And I didn't even question that you'd use a grief journal before somebody dies. I was very into it beforehand. And I'd like to just read you these 2 short entries. This little journal has grief quotes across the top, and the first one is, "Grief is a journey. God plans the itinerary." Thursday, January 4, ... or 5. This doesn't seem the best way or day to start this journal. I'm sitting in the car about a half mile from Woodwinds Hospital where Dad is. By schedule, I'm already late, but Mia said she'd be there this morning. I'm sitting facing a marshy little pond with a crowd of cattails and high blonde grasses, water frozen and cloudy. I'm not here really nearly so much because of Dad as I am because of me. not so much because of death as because of life. I'm sorry to start this journal with a red pen, but it's what's at hand. And then the next one, 111 question mark, Thursday. When I don't cry, I feel cold. When I do, all I want to do is stop. And the quote on the next page says, sorrow makes us all children again, destroys all differences of intellect. The wisest know nothing. And that's Ralph Waldo Emerson. I could probably page through this whole grief journal and it would speak to you about the spiritual journey. The reason I brought them up was the little things, the ... I didn't know what day it was. And I didn't know whether I wanted to cry or not. I didn't know whether it was about life or death. You know, it's in those times of unknowing, you know, the whole cloud of unknowing that we hear so much about with the mystics. The cloud of unknowing is about those states when you don't know what it's about. As my dad died, my dad died, and I cared for him. I was his caregiver in his dying process, and then 2 weeks after he died, my grandson was born. And there was something about those things happening right next to each other that gave me a sense of my vocation. And so, but I have a sense of this vocation that came out of this time with my dad and my grandson, because it was such a physical demonstration of what is dying and what is being born. And being with that in really great intimacy. What is dying and what is being born?